Here we are. Welcome to the Porn Stars Are People podcast. As always, I'm Dan Frigolette, your host, comedian. I'm here with Kimberly Chi.
Hello, everybody.
Kimberly Chi, right?
Yep.
I'm getting bombarded with. I'm at James Bartholet's house, and he's just bringing people in, and he's like, okay, you interview her now, and it's just so I'm like, I'm disheveled. I'm trying to figure out who everybody is.
Yeah, I'm just
trying to
this
do my
random
research.
stranger that he just found on the street.
And I'm overwhelmed. So thank you for being on this episode. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world?
I just started in the industry about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it treating you? What do you feel?
It's treating me great ever since I met James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ran into him over at the convention. I was a law school.
Wait, which convention?
The AVN convention.
Okay, right here.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was over in Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of lost in the industry, trying to figure out, what's the right thing to do in the industry. And I noticed that it's building your brand, building your production, kind of showing the crowd who you are.
Yeah,
besides working for other companies too as well. But it's nice to work for other companies.
Yeah.
But yet it's good to kind of expose your true talents, your fantasies.
Yeah, I keep seeing LA's big on this this spray painted little advertisement that's sort of like a PSA that says YouTube is selling your brand. So out here it's all about branding. It's all about figuring out what you're doing.
Subscribe,
yeah,
there's so many different.
And you guys are all brilliant at getting followers and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and and there's some people in the industry that are like, oh, I'm sad that I'm not getting work, or stuff like that. But yet it's all up to you at the end of the day to really put yourself out there. And that's what I've learned, and I'm glad that I've learned that, because I was coming in thinking that, I had to shoot for this person, and like when I noticed that there's certain companies that didn't want to shoot me, I would kind of feel a little bit discouraged. But then I learned that I was like, wait a minute, I can't be thinking that way.
Yeah.
When I know damn well I'm a good pleaser, I like to really express, companionship, but also chemistry, because that's really important. And also getting wild, I have a little wild side. I look innocent, but but I'm a bit wild. But I feel like that's the best thing to do in porn, is to kind of try something different, and explore your
and figure
side,
out. I don't know if you call it a voice in porn, but I guess a brand is a good way to put it.
Yes, because if you've seen like,
and you can't focus just in any part of this business. You can't focus on who's not.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, it's up to you to really, really succeed.
Yeah.
Because it's the money that you're making that you have to make valuable.
And
for your brand.
Yeah.
Because especially if this is what you love to do, might as well, reach the sky,
take
it off the limit, because it's really important to do that, because you have something to look forward to. You have money aside. You have people that's working for you now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because I think that's really important, is where, when you start a business and you're able to hire other people to work for you, to bring a team together and have a good time and do good shoots and share that with other people. And I think that's the best thing.
Yeah,
about
you're like 10 steps ahead. You hit the ground running on this thing. This is great.
Thanks to James. He's my PR.
So outside porn, what do you enjoy? What are the little things in life that like keep you sane, keep you balanced? How do you deal with the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
About health, self-knowledge. Spirituality.
Yeah.
Controlling the emotions.
Okay.
And how you react to everything, because I truly believe that you create everything with your own thoughts.
Sure.
And I'm a very spiritual person, and and like I like to share that with others. Like I like to be a light worker. I like to spread the light in the darkness, because I have a lot of people that come into my life, and they're always, asking me questions about certain things that they're going through and how to react to them and how to control themselves, because there's people out there, they don't really realize how they react to a certain situation.
Yeah.
And it just turns into just this big conflict. This big conflict, and Yeah, and I'm always there for people, and I also like traveling. I also like hiking. I also like just going outdoors, just having a good
Just
time.
classic California answer,
Yeah,
actually.
man.
It starts with something like, well, yoga and like
Yes.
Bikram yoga keeps me balanced.
But also athletic
then,
stuff because
but
I
then
was
I go
really
out and
athletic.
because you guys get to,
Mhm.
because it's so beautiful here.
Yeah.
Everybody, like people who I don't like, I know hikers because I hike in upstate New York
Oh,
and
that's
sort of that
awesome.
area. But the mentality of a hiker
Yeah.
in the Northeast is very, very different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Yeah, and
talking.
there's so much culture out there.
Yeah,
That you
but
can
it's like
actually
everybody
learn from
here who you
everything
would
that's been
think is
built.
just like a skateboarder and whatever.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they're like, oh no, let's go for a hike, let's do the thing.
Yeah.
But there you got, I mean, it's all the gear, the whole thing. And
Yeah,
it's
there's
only
a lot
like
of adventurous people out here.
yeah,
'Cause there's
it's
a lot of
well
things
because
to
you
do.
guys understand nature and because you have good weather. Like you
Yeah,
have
and I
real.
believe that I learned that at a young age because I didn't have money to do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't have money to go, out to like theme parks and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
found my way to keep myself busy and active and also have a good time.
Yeah.
And I noticed that was really healthy for me, and that was like saving me money,
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
like
I asked a
do
bunch of
this.
people in a row. I was like, when was the last time you swung on a swing?
Yeah.
And nobody really no. The only one person had like a real answer. When was the last time you swung on a swing?
Oh my gosh. I think it was like in junior high.
Okay, really? Wow. See, I
Yeah,
think we all need to
and
swing on swings more often.
yeah.
Go on the seesaw.
Yeah.
Find a friend and find
that's
a seesaw.
fun. Oh,
Or
actually, I
actually, I
rode
don't-
on a seesaw over at AVN, and they had like
No
penises
shit.
stuck on
Oh,
each
that's
side of
hilarious.
it, and they were holding onto the penises.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Seesaw.
I don't think there's as many seesaws as there used to be.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
as a child of the '80s, we would be on the seesaw, and then it would turn into this horrible game where you would put your friend up
Yeah.
high and then go out, and then get out of the way
Yeah.
so you could slam them down,
That's
or
funny.
you're in the middle
Play
and you're
tricks on
running
each
the
other.
thing. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
seesaw was probably one of the more dangerous playground things. So now it's like when they do have it, it's like it
Yeah.
always goes back to zero. You can't
I
kill
was
anybody.
thankful for the playground because I would always do like lots of flips
Yeah.
and stuff and just like climb on monkey bars and now that I'm older, like I dance on a pole. So like like
I was practicing the whole time.
yes, like I was born to do this. I knew it.
So they don't. So when I was dealing with playgrounds, it was all you would either be concrete or blacktop, or sometimes if you're lucky, it would be mulch.
Yeah.
Now they have this incredible foam shit. Have you been on a playground? It's
what,
it's like
foam?
rubber. You can fall
Dude.
You can fall from the top bars onto your face, and you're good.
Wow, no scrapes, no nothing.
Nothing. It's
no
incredible.
breaking teeth.
It's all you can. It's almost like a permanent trampoline. It's incredible.
Oh wow,
They've,
that's awesome.
So what's happened from that actually, I think, is that parents have become shittier parents.
Oh.
You used to have to watch your child so he didn't fall off and break
Yeah.
his face. So you give him
Yeah.
stitches.
Mhm.
Now you don't even have to watch him. He could fall on his head and you wouldn't even know that it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. All you hear is just a cry and that's it.
No, I don't even think
No.
kids cry. I actually witnessed
Yeah.
this. There was a kid playing in a little park, had a little fountain. He was all wet, running around doing this thing. His mom was this is in Hoboken, New Jersey. His mom was watching either something on her phone or she's reading. I can't remember what she was doing, but she's looking down. She's not even looking at her kid. Child falls down. Okay, he's at that perfect child age where he got just enough of a belly where you kind of catch. So he lands on his belly, kind of rolls and like just barely hits his chin. Looks up, got a little lip quiver. Looks up at his mom to see if she saw him fall down. 100%. If she looks up at that moment,
Yeah.
he's gonna cry and lose it.
Yeah.
And he's looking at her. She never even notices that he fell.
Yeah.
And so he just says, you know what, fine. He stands
plays
up and he
off.
brushes himself off, shrugs it off, and goes back to playing. And
Wow, that's
that's
strong.
I think it speaks a
That
lot
used
to
to
the.
be me when I was a little girl. I used to always like get cuts and scrapes
Yeah.
and stuff, but I would just get back right up.
You'd keep him to
Play it
yourself.
off. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
see,
because I didn't want my mom to trip off and get mad at me for fucking falling off
Oh.
or something, you know?
my mom was a nurse, so I would show up. I would get checked. I would
Yeah.
try make sure I'm
Aw,
fine.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you show your mother a scrape, and see, as soon as she makes that
Yeah.
sound, you think that you're
Right,
dead.
and
You
you
think
worry.
that your elbow is exposed and something's
Yeah.
going on. But but then there was this fun mix of things. So like A, she would freak out because her child is hurt. But then B, because she was a nurse, even things that a normal parent would bring their child to the doctor for, she wouldn't.
Yeah.
I was vomiting all one night, and I was assuming that I wasn't going to school.
Yeah.
So my mom busts in the morning, 7 a.m, and says, "Wake up! You're going to school. What are you doing?" And I said, "No, I've been vomiting all night." And she's like, "You haven't vomited in 3 hours. You're good. Get up and go to
Yeah.
school." So I had the unfortunate benefit. Actually, it doesn't sound like there was any benefits actually to having my mom being a nurse, because she was just like, "You're fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Get
and
to
that's
school."
good that she taught you that, because it's mind over matter.
Yeah.
It really is,
That's
you know. And
absolutely
sometimes that
true.
we really let excuses get the best
Yeah,
of us.
sure.
But that's good that your mom taught that. It shows that she's a very strong-minded person.
Yeah.
And she wanted to teach you that, and
Yeah.
that's really nice, you know.
You're so positive, I can't even handle it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to be negative?
Yeah,
now
I'm used to
and just
hanging out
talk
with
about,
comedians, and we're just like, "Fuck it, yeah, man. Your mom doesn't love you. Would probably kill yourself."
She's
Like,
just giving you fucking tough love, man. Come on.
No, what positivity? That's incredible. It's just resonating off of you. It's incredible. So okay, so we a little insight into that. What do you what's your personal life? Do you live alone? Do you live with a bunch of people? You were talking about how you've monetized your home.
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
here.
Right now I'm living with roommates.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm just like, you know, I just moved out here not too long ago, and
Yeah.
I really want to save up for a home, and it's
Yeah.
nice to live with roommates.
Yeah.
You know, because like when they cook, they share with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then when I cook, you know, I share with them, and it's nice. You know.
Are you a
It's
good
nice
roommate?
To have that. Yeah, I'm a good roommate. Yeah. Yes, I'm a really good roommate.
And I've had roommates for a long time. In New York, it's just kind of like, it's just what you do in New York. And I had an apartment, and I ended up in a good situation. And for a while, I had the extra room, and I was like, whatever. But then I was looking at this room, and in my head, I was like, if I can cut my rent, you just do it. You just do it, and it makes sense. But I don't know. I don't think I'm a good roommate. Here's what I do. I eat. I eat my roommate's food. Like, I come home, and if it's just food in the fridge, I'll start. Do you ever play the game where you just start it? You just know a couple.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
you
taste
just take
it.
a little bit of
I'm gonna taste it, and you'll never notice. And then next thing you know, like you're halfway through the food, and you're like, "Fuck it, man! I may as well eat this whole thing." And then just try to hide the container, and you know, tell them something horrible. Listen, it was covered in mold. I was taking care of you. I wanted to make sure. I found out recently how I'm just not a good roommate. I'm not at all.
Yeah.
So how many roommates do you have?
I have these Asian parents that I live with, and
Really?
yeah.
And they're not your Asian parents.
No.
They're somebody else's Asian parents.
No, yeah.
This
But
is
they're really cool
hilarious.
because the husband's like older white guy, and his wife is like a younger like Asian lady.
Classic stereotype.
Yeah, and like. And me, I'm just like, I'm this like rebellious little chick, and they have like a daughter that lives there. But I take good care of her.
Yeah.
Like, I take her out with me.
Yeah.
I take her to go work out.
Yeah. It
like,
sounds like you treat the child like a dog, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I take her for walks.
She's my dog. You know, I treat her like my
feed
bitch.
her. I take her around and let people pet her. We got a little leash for her. That's funny. So wait, so she goes to work out with you?
My dominant side coming out of me.
Yeah. She goes to work out with you? How old is this child?
She's in high school.
Okay.
She's 17 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's random, but it's nice.
No, it's
because I actually met them through my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Are you good? Are you good with exes, or do you keep good tabs on them?
I'm good with exes.
Like, you don't
not
like
all of them, because like I barely have any. I only had like one real boyfriend besides high school.
The separation part of life sometimes is hard for people. But I've always aspired to be somebody who could be friends with all my exes.
Yeah, like my ex-boyfriend, he would bring other girls into the house and stuff.
No shit.
We lived together, and I wouldn't mind.
Oh, very cool. Well, you are from a particularly open mindset.
Yes.
Based on
and before
few
it
things I
used
know
to
about
get
you.
to me until I got into the industry, and I learned what love is all about, and also how to, you know, kind of cut out the jealousy.
Yeah, how do you
know
do
what
that?
I mean? There's no point of that when you realize that people in your life that have good intentions and that treated you well are meant to be respected, regardless of anything, regardless if they love anybody else or whatever, you know, like I don't think, you know, anybody should have anything against their ex-boyfriend unless, you know, like he was like, you know, abusive or something, you know, or just an asshole.
Yeah, but at the same time, maybe I'm in a weird place with my life but I think even sometimes people tell me, they'll be like, "Oh, he's awful," and they're like, "Oh, what happened? What did he do?" And then they'll just start listing things that you as an individual can choose to be away from.
Yeah.
You can't you can't let people affect you that much that you're gonna hang on to this stuff. If somebody does something shitty to you.
Because some people really
get the
blame
fuck
other
out of
people
there.
for some
Get out of
reasons.
there.
Like I've had girls like, "Oh my god, I don't like her," and I'm like, "Why don't you like
get
her?"
Get out of there.
She's like, "Oh, because like she's like the whore of the business, and she's flirts with my boyfriend, and this is like my nephew's girlfriend."
Yeah.
And me, I'm straight. I'm like, You need to shut the fuck up. Really?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me
Get
right
it out
now?
of your head. Yeah.
She's just being nice.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, reason for you to even hate her because you have no clue of even knowing what she does in her daily life, what she's going through. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
We
I'm
can
such
only
a
be
peaceful
responsible for our own
person.
things. Yeah. It's an interesting perspective. Yeah, people really do get hung up on all this stuff, and it's interesting when because when you have that kind of person in your life, it is interesting because it's hard. Once you get out of that mindset, it's hard to like listen to that and have it make sense, have it like float around and make sense in your head that like somebody could be stuck in that zone of sort of like judgment and drama.
I learned to grow out of that.
We've bottled a lot of these descriptions up as drama in 2007. We just call it just no drama zone.
Yeah,
no
and like
drama.
in the porn industry, like people look down on us, but yet if you actually really get to know us, you would learn so much from us.
Right.
You know,
no,
like
and
it's funny because of course religion or whatever, politics, it gets in the way of everything and pollutes people's minds to think differently. But like I said, I like to read books and stuff.
Yeah.
And also in the industry, the people that I've met, all that combined had really made me into a more peaceful, understanding, and accepting person.
Interesting.
So it's really awesome, and
Very
I'm glad
cool.
that I got to share love with the people in the industry because they've shown me what love was truly about.
Yeah.
And it's all about acceptance, like regardless of what you go through in your past.
Yeah.
Or what you're going through today. It's good to just please each other and make each other feel good.
Yeah, well, and then well, as acceptance, then you gotta understand like that not everybody can be everything that you need them to be, and that's just who they are.
And that's the thing, you can't be a people pleaser.
We get hung up. We get hung up a lot of times. We're like, oh, well, this person didn't wish me happy birthday. Oh, my grandmother passed, and they weren't there for me, or they didn't. And it's just like not everybody can do all those things. Some people can't handle death.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle being the person that you need them to be, the moment that you need them to be that person. And we have to love people for who they are and who they can be, and all the little things that people give us, we got to acknowledge, because those are all.
Yeah, exactly. And like what because I went through this thing with my ex-girlfriend. I was dating this girl for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And like she would get mad and she's like, oh, now that you're in the porn industry, you act so dominant and you act like you run us. I was like, no, it's not that. Like, just know that I don't have bad intentions.
Yeah.
Just know that I don't have the bad intentions, because if you compare me to someone that is abusive, you'll see the difference.
Right.
You'll see the difference. And if you don't see good in me, like, it goes to show that you truly don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I learned. Like,
and you can't force people.
Because I learned from that, because I'm like, wow, I've been through way worse stuff than this.
Yeah.
And I still forgiven the people that abused me in my life.
Yeah.
Because I had family that abused me, because like they're alcoholics and stuff like that.
Sure.
And my ex-girlfriend, she became an alcoholic. She drank a lot, her
shout out your ex-girlfriend.
Amber. I hope you're listening to this. I didn't think you
were going to say her name. We just shout her out. Shout out Amber, you drunk bitch.
Yeah, get your shit straight.
That's me talking.
I'm not saying that alcohol is bad, but the way you make it, it's going to be bad. I'm just saying.
So funny. So what are you reading right now? Did you say you're reading
Emotional Intelligence?
Emotional Intelligence.
Yes, and also Unshakable by Tony Robbins and Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then also the Hustle Akira book.
Would you go? I mean, would you go to these like a motivational speaking engagement and get something from that?
Yeah, I would, but I think I would go more to like one of those seminars for the houses.
Yeah.
So like I know what type of property to buy.
Oh, interesting.
When to buy it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's so funny. Yeah, you always have your head on the business aspect of things. That's good. That's smart. It's smart place to be.
Yeah, because I'm young. You know what I mean. Might as well start now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I can't depend on anybody for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know.
Interesting.
So.
Let's talk about Let's talk about your art a little bit. You have angel wings.
Yes, I have
Is that what I'm looking at?
wings. It resembles being free spirited.
Yeah.
And just, flying through life, through obstacles.
And there's some of the cool. They're in more of a logical place than I've seen. People a lot of times, like you've seen somebody who has angel wings. They'll have an angel wing tattoo like on their hip, and you're like, what does that mean? Your hip is going to fly? Or, like, what is happening?
No, maybe she likes to fly through.
People have them like small on the back of their neck. No, you have them like on your arms, which is the symbolism of what a wing is.
It means faith.
Okay, star with what's going on? What are these?
Yeah, it kind of got fucked up because I was really young when I got this tattoo. I was 15 years old.
No shit.
And my friend's baby daddy at the time, like, he went to jail before, and he had made like one of those fucking.
Yeah, it was a jail tattoo.
Yeah, and he used a guitar string.
He used a guitar string
as the needle. Yeah, so like, yeah. And I had to fix it up because he fucked it up because it was only supposed to be the outline.
So what am I looking at? You're talking about the star?
No,
or
I'm
the
talking
lettering?
About the lettering.
Okay,
yeah, the lettering was supposed to be the outline.
And so what does it say?
It means faith.
It says faith.
Yeah, because I believe you gotta have faith in everything you do. And then I have a dragon that goes from my waist right here.
Yep.
And it goes all the way up to my back.
Okay. Oh, very very cool. Very
it's like very earthy.
Oh, very cool.
And then
we have there's some flowers in there. Oh, very cool. So that's all one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then what am I looking at right here? What's in your sternum?
This is the namaste hand.
Okay, this is very cool. This is
third eye because I believe that you got to see with your heart as much as your mind, and you have to balance that out.
Interesting.
And the lotus flower resembles growth.
Okay. I'm glad that you. So a lot of times I'll ask people about the tattoos, and they're like, "Don't ask me. They don't have any meanings." And it's like, what are you doing? It's like I love people's tattoos, and I don't have any myself. Just I'm in the position where I don't know that there's anything in my life that I think needs to be represented because I'm a comedian, so I get to just say whatever I want. So having it on my body isn't necessarily a thing that speaks to me as of yet. I do think that there's going to be something in my life at some point that I want to represent.
Maybe if you go through a breakthrough or something crazy.
Yeah,
or if you get really
and I can't predict that kind of thing. But it's interesting because and I also do feel that I might get slightly obsessed with it, and I might end up doing all of them. You know what I mean? I might end up because once you start doing tattoos, I hear that it becomes a whole lifestyle. Like nobody thinks that their body's done with the tattoos. Nobody's like, no, I got them all. Like there's always like another one coming up behind, and people get kind of obsessed with it. So what's the newest one here?
The newest one is the one on my leg.
Okay.
I actually have one that on my leg. It's like.
We can't hear you right now.
Huh?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's on my leg. Sorry, I forget that I'm talking on the mic, guys. But yeah, I have one on my leg. It has like these chains that like hang. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like henna.
Okay.
But it also has like a moon at the bottom and the sun.
Very
because
cool.
I love the moon and the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so the moon is you're an interesting individual because you come from just a general white person, an American person. We don't branch out that much. We were either raised, Jewish, Christian, these sorts of things, Protestant.
I think the reason why I'm this way because in my culture,
just
my
being
background,
Asian, there's just a lot of spirituality that kind of comes from that whole thing. And if you connect back with your culture, a lot of it makes sense. So
and it leads me to beautiful places where I need to be, where I know to be, because when you embrace the earth elements, the sun, the moon, the stars, the earth, that's what you're made of.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's just like embracing God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same thing.
Yeah.
And to embrace that, you realize that there's so much more to this world
than
this little area that
and things that we can't understand.
Yeah, and if you travel the world and you see different places and you learn from different cultures and you try different foods, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
It's enlightenment.
Yeah.
I
like how you crammed food in there.
Yes,
so everybody,
I love food.
So go out if you go out and you get a bond me, you will have a spiritual experience.
Yeah, fuck yeah, hippie experience. We having good food, smoking some weed.
That's funny, yeah.
Okay,
so that's the first time weed came up today. It's interesting because almost every other, because we've been in California and then Vegas is big on weed right now because they're about to pass a deal. So how do you consume your weed? Are you a smoker? Do you eat it? What do you do?
Both.
Yeah?
Yeah, I smoke it. I eat it. I do dabs every now and then, but it's a little bit too harsh for me.
Sure.
But I like smoking it. I have back pain because I have like scoliosis and I've been in car accidents.
No
so
shit.
when I smoke, I feel so much better.
Way.
I get back to like the gym and start being active.
Very cool.
Healing myself back. Because it also helps with my emotions.
Yeah. Having a healthy body.
Having a healthy body and also smoking weed.
Yeah.
Because when you smoke weed, it really enhances, your vibrations, basically, the way you feel.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so much better. That's why a lot of doctors, surgeons, they inject the THC oil into cancer patients or people with brain
Yeah.
damage because it helps them get back to normal
Sure.
again. Because it makes them think positive. It gives them good energy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever smoked weed before?
So I keep telling what is generally the same story is I have 3 or 4 different stories where the level of weed is just outside of my ability, and so I need to find
Yeah.
something mellower that can put me in a good position. Now, as a comedian, generally speaking, there are exceptions. We all try, especially in this era of comedy, to be as clear-minded as we can
Yeah.
to go on stage. But like civilian people are always like, "Oh, so what do? You just get drunk before you get on stage?" And you're just like that's not really how it works. Like you want all your faculties. So
Yeah.
comedians who smoke, they don't generally smoke before they get on stage.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you smoke with the goal to write to the smoke brain, what happens is you'll write a bunch of shit that you can't like. So like it's all about a range for comedians, like things that you're able to convey on stage because of your personality, because of the way you interact, the way that you use words. And so sometimes your high brain can do things that you can't do. So there's just crazy act
Yeah.
outs and things that maybe you're not capable of. So
because sometimes you may lose control of that.
yeah, well, just as a high person, sometimes even the things that you think are funny are not like
Yeah.
aren't reachable to, because at the end of the day, you're trying to
Connect with the crowd.
bottle
and
all of it
experience
down to create this shared experience, to create resonance with a room. And sometimes you need to baby step that. And so sometimes drugs will take you so far down the line that something is funny. That's the struggle as a comedian. Something is funny. You know that something 2 miles down the road is funny, and you gotta hit reverse and go back 2 miles so you can grab the crowd, get them in the car with you, so that they can take that trip. And you gotta walk them down the 2 miles until you get to that thing that's funny. And that's our job is to figure out how to find that moment and how to bring everybody with us. And so, and drugs work differently with everybody. So for me, I found that it's not a good luck. I'm somehow everything for me is better sober.
That's good.
But it's all about, and again, it's all about balance and figuring out who you are as a person.
It's good to show your true self, especially when you're on stage. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that was my struggle for a long time. So some people will create a persona. Create a voice that's a little bit outside of who they are. It's a little exaggerated, and that works for them. Me, it was always it was important to me to be almost almost to a T. There's a little exaggeration, but I want to be as close to my real self on stage as I am off stage, because that's where the real funny comes from. I was struggling in life where I would be funnier sometimes off stage, and that's the last thing you want to do. And sometimes my crowd work, just in real moments, was far surpassing the type of jokes that I was writing. And so so knowing that you're funny and figuring out where that is was an interesting thing, trying to find the voice. So long story short, I don't smoke that much.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, but man, it's a big part of culture out here. People get involved, people get sucked into it, and people get really all about it. What so what else? So this is the relationship you have with your roommate's child is an interesting thing. So you said she's a teenager.
Yeah.
She's still in high school.
Yeah, but she's very mature for her age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so have you seen her parents? How do her parents treat her like a kid, or do they give her sort of?
They treat her like a kid, of course, because they want best for her.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're young, you kind of don't want to do things.
Yeah.
Or do as what you were told.
Sure.
And,
sure.
Yeah, and she's kind of going through that phase, but
Yeah.
she's doing better. She got a job. Now she's working at a Thai restaurant.
Interesting.
Getting free food all the time too. So
That's
it's the best part of the job, right?
It's there's an interesting thing where with the relationships that we have with our parents, they have to change over time, and it seems like sometimes parents and possibly children are having trouble making that transition, because once you're an adult, your parents can't treat you the way they treated you when you were a child, and it's like some parents excel at these moments when you're young. Some parents excel at these moments when they can finally just be your friend and it's a weird balance. I'm trying to get it in my own life where I get to a position where I'm just buddies. Like I'm friends with my grandfather, but I don't think that I'm friends with my father. I don't think my father thinks that we're boys. and I it's like I think that's an important part of life, is getting to that moment where you can just be friends with your parents, and where you can be friends with people and realize that that once you get to a certain age, everything is, everything at that point is relative, and the circle of life is a shared experience, and age has nothing really to do with knowledge or connection.
Yeah,
in a way.
because some people can be more mature than some people that are like 50.
And some people
40,
never.
you
Some people never
know.
grow up.
And to me, looks are an illusion. Souls, seeing through people's souls it's really important.
Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting thing, especially from the standpoint of probably most of your viewers that care the most about looks, and that's the thing.
And that's what they like about me. They're like, "Oh my God, you don't judge." I'm like, "No, not at all." Who am I to judge?
Yeah, it's an interesting chunk of people, and I'm finding weird connections to this industry. I'm finding weird connections too. So I recently did a show for nudists, and I thought it was a sexual thing, and then I found once I was there that it's not that at all. It's an acceptance thing.
Yes.
And being nude is all about connecting with people as people, and
as you were born that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you look down on it, what's the point?
Yeah,
and it's like you hating your mom for giving you birth.
Yeah.
And you being naked out of her womb.
And it was it was a supreme acceptance across all shapes and sizes, and like status didn't matter. It was just we're all people.
Yeah.
It was an interesting place to be.
Yeah.
So what else? Okay, so how do you? So you said you all the balance. You really are. You're in this crazy positive place, which I think we should all aspire to.
I came from a crazy fucking ghetto place. You know what I mean? Which I'm really thankful for. It made me humble.
Yeah.
It made me grow up really fast.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a dad around. My mom was sick. So, she kind of did her own thing, and I just went off and just, just explored the world.
Had to figure out how to be an independent person.
Yeah. And
Beyonce.
And along the way, I have learned from people.
Yeah.
I've learned from so many different people in my life, the good or bad, I really learned from them, and I analyze it, but I see it in a positive perspective.
Sure.
I learned a lot about positivity, and that's really important in this life.
Yeah. To find it.
Yeah, especially,
and to grab a hold of it.
Oh, my God, because I started import modeling at the age of 16 years old.
Yeah.
People were judging, like, "Oh, you're not old enough to model yet. You look too young." Or they'll just talk shit, like, "Oh, you're an Asian prostitute."
Yeah.
Yeah, one time that happened to me in school, I shoved ice cream in the guy's face.
Wait,
but I grew from that, like.
Wait.
Oh my God.
Wait. So because you were modeling at 16, someone called you an Asian prostitute?
Yeah.
And you hit him with
ice cream in his face.
What was the flavor?
Vanilla.
You hit him with the vanilla soft serve?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
got to be a good feeling.
Take it easy.
To just mash somebody with vanilla soft serve.
I had a lot of anger in me when I was younger because I was abused a lot. I went through a lot, you know what I mean? And not having a dad around can be tough, because you kind of need that balance.
Well, and then we see anger as kids, and then we think that's what that becomes programmed on. That is a positive. That's an outlet either way.
You learn it from people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can learn to control your emotions as you get older.
For sure.
But it was so funny though when I did that. Oh my God. I'll never forget that day. But now when people call me names and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
they care a lot about me.
It doesn't land.
They truly do care about me.
Why is this affecting you so much?
Why? What? Like, I guess they're gonna waste their valuable time on me. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good place to be. All right, so where can we follow you on the webs? How do we do this?
You can follow me on Twitter, IG, and Facebook. I am under Kimberly Chi, CHI XXX, and you can find my website at Kimberly Chi with 2 I's at the end, XXX.com.
Okay, and then we're and I guess look out for you buying a bunch of property in California.
Oh yeah, dude, you'll
and
see
becoming
me
a mogul.
Flipping homes.
So thank you for being here. This is the Porn Stars Are People podcast. I thank my guest one more time. We are on the web. We are pornstarsarepeople.com. We are on iTunes. We are on Google Play. We're on Stitcher. We're on Tune in wherever you found us. We're everywhere. Please keep listening. Subscribe. We're going to try to give you the greatest content as we can as we move forward through this podcast and the evolution of the Porn Stars Are People. So thank you for listening and enjoy your day.